Good afternoon. Actually, this is a very interesting episode. As I speak to you, this is one of those Saturdays weekend where you feel happy and you are watching the golden rays of the sun on the Mumbai skyline, and it's like liquid gold flowing in. Winter is just going away, the weather is quite cool and pleasant, ambience is good, and it's a weekend. So this is a nice time to speak to you on this episode. What I want to speak to you is really about how do you get happiness, the pursuit of happiness in life. So one of the things I keep on seeing among a lot of young people and not so young people, they are not very clear what they want to do. They are always a little flustered with what their objective of life is, and possibly they are always looking for happiness. So I have a simple advice that whatever you may do in life, whatever you are earning, whatever you are thinking of doing, whether it's a work and play, very important to define your own happiness, the pursuit of happiness. In fact, I keep on telling all my friends, acquaintances, my people in my organization, define what is happiness for you and go after it. That can become one solid goal. And what I'm trying to share with you is, from my perspective, how can you define happiness and really go after happiness? Will that serve the purpose of what you want to do in life? So to me, very important. Happiness is what pursuit of life should be, your objective should be, and how do you really do it. So one of my learnings has been, and in this perspective, let me tell you some things, that in this perspective, all of us seek happiness, but do we get it? If not, then what do we do? So one of the key learnings has been, for me, that define what is work and what is play for you. This is one of the French philosophers called Rousseau. He defined something called work and play theory. So if you actually define your work as something which you enjoy doing, like a play, then you will never get stressed with your work. In fact, I keep on seeing there are a lot of great talented videographers, movie makers, talented cinematographers, talented photographers, who have good job, they do a lot of work, they really enjoy their work. And if they enjoy their work, they will never feel that it is work, it's like play to them. And I think this is applicable for each and every manager, executive, organization, startup, large organizations, whatever it is. So define your life, whether it is work and play. And if it is play, then you find it interesting and very entertaining and you never get stressed out. So that's the first principle of happiness. Define your work and play. That's very important. So, and I think if you can define it well, you will never have lack of happiness. The second principle for me, for a pursuit of happiness or going after happiness, is that always try to find the balance which you want. And balance can be defined in your own manner. For some, really being and traveling and being on the job and doing the work life 24 hours is something which they want doing. For some, it's a balance where they want to balance their family life, personal life, social life, and their work life. So you seek what is balance for you, and that's really what will give you happiness. And it is not something which is same for everyone, it can be different. For some, work is more important, they want to give more importance to the work life. For some, social life is more important. For some, their family life is more important. Typically, in many of the scriptures it is there, and I think as a manager all of us know, try to divide your 24 hours in 3 ways. Each of 8 hours, 8 into 3, 24 hours. So first 8 hours or one of the 8 hours is about your work life. The second 8 hours is about your rest and whatever activities you have to do, your daily chores. And the third 8 hours is about your family, social life, and on yourself. So if you define it in this way and find the balance, again you will find happiness. So this is the second principle of happiness according to me. The third principle of happiness is very important. We sometimes seem to ignore it, which is money is very important for most of us in the real world. So it is not that money cannot buy happiness or money is not important. Yes, just by having money doesn't mean you will have happiness, but money is very important for most of the middle class or upper middle class and normal people. Because money is nothing but a currency that you can do a lot of things. So if you don't have that currency, you don't have the ability to do choice, and you don't have the choice of doing many things. So money is important. Look at your financial planning and how really you can plan your finance early on in life, so that once you are slightly mature, you have a better financial planning. So money is important. How much money, I don't think that's important, because for every person it is different. But as long as you can manage your finances well, it's important. So that's a very key part of happiness. We tend to sometimes say that money is not related to happiness, but that's not true. And as you grow mature and as we call older, it will become important that money is not important for you, but maybe for your family, for your social life, for your friends. That is important. So money becomes important. The fourth thing which I have found for happiness, in the pursuit of happiness, at least for me, I don't know about other people, very important to define your own family structure and really being with them. So family is a unit which gives you a sense of happiness. You can share your good things, not so good things, bad things. So really identify your family structure, your family unit, your close ones, and see that you can spend some quality time with them and really go through life with them. So family becomes very important for many of the people. It's not that for all. There are a lot of people who stay single and still are extremely happy, but for them they define their family in a different way. For them it is their parents, their cousins, their brothers, sisters, siblings. That's what family is. So some way of unit of family and being with the family is important. So I think that is one more fundamental of finding happiness. Fourth principle of happiness which I have found is that human beings by nature are social people. They tend to stay in a certain community together. So finding your own social grounding is very important. So as social people, where do you find happiness? Do you find happiness within your friends, your close friends, not so close friends, people you stay together, office friends, your old school friends, college friends? So that's called social happiness. Really, finding out your social structure beyond your family. Sometimes for a lot of professional, actually their professional network become friends. So that is another social structure. It doesn't need to be necessarily their old friends. It's their professional networks with whom they work with. That's important. So again, this social structure, in fact, if you see in the last 10-15 years, according to me, one of the fundamental reasons why this phenomena of Facebook has been so successful is because they have understood the consumer need of being social people and social creatures. You have to connect with people, and that's what platforms like Facebook do, and that is one of the eternal human truths they have understood and exploited, and that's why Facebook is such a big organization and phenomena today. So I think that's another very key to happiness, finding your own social being and social structure. The next principle of happiness which I have believed in for many people is what is called a sense of achievement. I think every human being wants or seeks a sense of achievement. And sense of achievement doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be best in the world in anything, or best in your nation or your country or India or Mumbai. That's not what it means. It means you yourself should feel a sense of achievement. And for different people, I've seen it's different sense of achievement. For some people it is basically finding the balance is a sense of achievement. For some people it is so competitive that they want to be best in the world or in the nation in something. For some people it is to be known. For some people it is fame. Everyone should know them. For some people it is sometimes, there is a sense of achievement which is built in. Try to reach out what is your sense of achievement and what it is. I have a definition of sense of achievement. I don't think achievement means achieving something on your own for yourself or your family. I think it is much more, according to me, a real sense of achievement comes in when you feel that you have achieved something which is for the society and for the greater good, and you have been able to do something where you have given back something to society. Whether it is about doing an invention, new thing, or maybe a platform you have created, organization, something new you have done. So I think this is the ultimate form of sense of achievement for anyone. And this is what really gives achievement. Not too many people actually get an opportunity of having this sense of achievement before they pass away. And there's a classic thing in many of the introspection workshops when one does is, how do you want your obit or obituary to be written? If you are clear on that and you are nearer to the goal of how you want to define your obit as, you will be a very happy person. So this might look slightly black and gloomy, but writing your own obituary, and if that is in line with what you want to do, will give you a sense of achievement and something will make you happy. The last one of happiness is very important, and in this case, I am not just going about happiness of oneself. I am also defining happiness for the whole family, for the structure, for maybe the state, for the country, and maybe for the organization, maybe for brands. That's a very important one, and I've largely found this to be true, which is for people, for brands, for organizations, they are more happy if they have found what is their purpose in life and they relate their purpose with what they are actually doing. So if the goal is related to a purpose, then the happiness is much more, and that also comes to sense of achievement. And it's not very easy to do that. Sometimes you do some mundane work and you feel that it is not very important, but that itself might be very important for the overall scheme of things. So defining your purpose either for yourself or for your family or for the society or sometimes organization, the purpose of a brand, purpose of the organization, purpose of yourself tends to make you happy. So any work you do, according to me, you can keep yourself and people around you happy if you have some of these principles.